The first thing you probably saw when you logged into Schoology for the first time, especially for this training, is that when you were on this homepage and if you went to courses, all of your courses are going to display for the current 1920 school year. All that are listed in PowerSchool will all be in here. The other one you're going to have is the EPSD EdTech one, which is obviously how you got into this course to watch these videos. For the purpose of this, there's no sense in us having you create things and getting things ready for your courses for next year that are not listed here. So in Schoology, it's always best practice to create material and content for your class inside of your resources because it's always going to be here. Think of this as your online, just through Schoology, your filing cabinet where you can keep your items. And again, it can be linked to your Google Drive, which you're going to learn about, but creating them in here that you can dump them into your courses. If you create things in your courses, you can always save them to your resources, but right now, there's no sense in us adding it to old courses that by the time we start using this in 2021, you would have to move them and those courses are not yet available. So we're going to create them in our resources. So you'll learn in the next module how to add things like a folder, an assignment. We'll talk about test, quiz, and assessment in another video, files, links, pages, all these kinds of things. You add them in your resources first, and then I'll give you an example. I can simply then, once it's created, like let's say this folder, I can then hit add to course, and then next year when you see your 2021 courses, they are all there because we want you, as you are working through these modules, and if you have to create anything, is obviously creating it for a purpose. We're not here to have you make a random folder just to make a random folder. So we want you to make it in resources so that you can push it over to your classes next year. And then that way from June all the way to August, if you want to work on your course, you would build it in resources. So when that rollover happens over summer, you are able then to put all of this that you create, and with a single click of a button, you can add it to the courses that you need to. Just to show you real quick, once you learn in the other modules, now I'm in an actual course. Here I can go from add materials. So I can add all those things, but at the bottom it says import from resources. So even though I could do it the first way, being in resources and throwing it to my class, I can now be in my class and pull from resources. I can pull that same folder under old stuff that I just showed a couple seconds ago. So I can do it both ways. And again, even next year, once you create something you create in your course, all you do is, if you don't create it in resources, you can simply click the little gearbox and then save it to your resources. Resources is a spot you always want to have it because let's say you create your entire course for 2021, you did it all in your course and didn't save one thing to your resources. You're going to have to dig through the archives of your course to get it back, and it can be difficult to find certain things. So it's always best practice to build it here and then push it to your course. And then once you're in your course, again, just like I showed, you can import from resources by going to add materials and import from resources, as well as from the gearbox. If something's created already, I can save it there. So it's kind of how the circle works, and you'll learn more about that in videos that are upcoming. But again, for the purpose of this PD, we're going to create it in resources and not just create a random course just to make it.